Roboco is a character that can be difficult to get started with, but becomes very powerful the longer she stays alive. In this video, I'm going to cover the overview of what her weapons and skills do, what weapons and items do I recommend to throw on her, what stats to prioritize, and what items and weapons to level up first. So to start off, Roboco's weapon is the high spec pistol. It shoots 3 shots at level 1. Level 2 shoots an extra bullet, level 3 increases the piercing by 1, level 4 increases the rate of fire by 15%, level 5 increases its damage by 20%, level 6 shoots another bullet, and on level 7 the bullet becomes massive and pierces everything. The shot deals around 260% damage with an increased area by 200%. The rate of fire is slightly slower, but nothing to complain about. Her special attack is called High Spec Mode. This creates a red electrical field for 8 seconds around Roboco that deals 300% damage. It also doubles her damage and her movement speed and her pickup radius for those same 8 seconds. And she also gets a 50% buff on crit and attack speed. Roboco has 3 skills. Her first skill is called Battery Charge. At the max level, when she defeats an enemy, the enemies have a 20% chance to drop a battery. Picking up this battery gives an additional 100% XP and shocks the nearby enemies for half a second. They turn blue and remain in place, and they also take a small amount of damage. Her second skill is called High Level. For every level Roboco gains, she increases her attack by 1.2% and increases her crit rate by 5% for every 10 levels. What this means is the higher the level that Roboco is, the stronger she will become with these percentage increases. Her third skill, Roboco's third skill, is called the Robo Discharge. Every time Roboco levels up, she creates an electrical ring around her for 5 seconds, which deals 150 damage, plus an extra 1% damage for every level you have. Roboco can take down enemies from long range. Her projectile becomes fairly big, allowing her to pierce holes in groups of many enemies, which you can then run into. Her major weakness is the area within her discharge ability. The discharge ability does not damage any enemies within the ring, only the actual ring itself. So if an enemy can get in there, she can struggle to take down the enemy if she misses her shots. Another thing Roboco struggles with is that if she gets injured, she can't self-heal herself. Unless you have some sort of healing or food around her, that damage will stay. But there are some strategies that I will cover to counteract this. First, I want to talk about what items to give to Roboco. What you want to do with Roboco is you want to be able to increase your pickup radius and increase the amount of XP that you receive because she scales with the level that she is. First, I recommend to get Dancho's Milk. Like many of the other characters, Dancho's Milk is pretty damn strong. This is going to increase not only your pickup radius, but it's also going to increase the size of your bullets and the size of your discharge attack, the radius of your discharge attack, and the special attack. Then I recommend the limiter. This is going to increase your pickup range to 300%. And the reason I recommend to increase your pickup percent is because then you're going to add the study glasses on top of that, which will increase your EXP gain by 30%. Now with the milk and the limiter, your EXP is going to be way easier to pick up because of all the extra pickup range. That means for the enemies that you kill from long range, you can even pick up some of their EXP from very far away. Now, to counteract her ability not to be able to self-heal, I recommend going with the Uber Sheep. This is going to drop a lot of extra foods. It has a 20% chance to drop foods from enemies and drops foods every couple of seconds. And these pieces of food are going to be easier to pick up because of all the extra pickup range that you have. Now, that's how you're going to cover your self-heal. That's how you're going to cover your EXP. You're leveling up fast with pickup range and the EXP increase. Now, if you want to add more healing on top of that, which I recommend you do, I would add Choco's Horns. This will, heal yourself. This will heal you from all the enemies you kill, which you are going to be killing a lot. I don't recommend to get the body pillow just because with all the healing that you're going to do, it would not be efficient to have the body pillow. Just go straight to healings. Now, the last item that you can have is up to the player, really. I do like to use the headphones just so you can knock back the enemies that get within your circle. You have a chance to knock back the enemies that get within your circle if they do get close. As to what weapons do I recommend to put on Roboco, the first one is definitely the Spider Cocoon. This is going to create that circle of miasma around Roboco, which is going to damage enemies that get into your circle, especially when you haven't gotten the awakened pistol. This is going to really help you defend yourself inside that vulnerable circle that Roboco has. That's really the main weapon I recommend. However, I do recommend some collabs. The first one that I recommend is going to be the Dragon Fire. This is going to make just a massive line of dragon breath that's going to just destroy enemies in front of you, and they're going to take extra damage because of the big bullets that you're putting in there too. It's just going to be a line that's going to completely melt through the enemies that are, you know, within that line of fire. Then the next collab I recommend is the Broken Dreams. This is going to provide a shield around Roboco. Any enemies that enter that shield slow down a little bit and they take damage, as well as being able to hit enemies from the entire screen with the raindrops. Honestly, the Broken Dreams is a monster of a collab. I do recommend it with a lot of characters. All of those enemies that are getting killed from far away by the tiers, you're going to be able to pick up their EXP since you're going to have like 400% pickup range. Everything else is up to the players. I like to use the blue BL books, but with Roboco, you could probably throw on the Frozen Sea. This is going to give you the blue BL shield around here as well to complement the Broken Dream shield, and it's going to hit enemies from far away with the shards of ice. It's basically another Broken Dreams, just without an actual circle. Now, as to what to level up first, I would definitely try to get the spider cooking first to protect yourself, as well as any form of healing, either the horns or the Uber Eats immediately in case you get hurt, because you can go quite a bit of levels or time without having any sort of healing if you don't find any. I would also at the same time be leveling up your gun. Just having the bigger projectile really makes a difference. I would also try to get the study classes if you have the opportunity, so that way as early as you can, literally if you can get it the first possible moment, just so you can receive that extra 30% EXP boost starting from the early levels, which is really going to make a difference down the line. In conclusion, when it comes to Roboco, it's all about increasing her pickup range so she can get the most EXP as quickly as possible. Each level she increases adds to her overall damage without having to necessarily upgrade your weapons. She's going to struggle to defend herself from enemies in close range, but thankfully that's what the shields are for, and that's what the healing is for. Roboco is an absolute unit out there on the field.